Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Last Week in AI. Today I'll be covering Claude leaks, OpenAI new funding, and some new announcements, some new stuff from Google and Gemini, some AI agents that can trade stocks for you, and much more. First of all, Claude's code was leaked. A lot of Anthropic's source code for Claude code was leaked, and they said that this was human error, not an AI error, and that they're gonna fix it. They also said that no customer data or credentials were leaked or anything like that, just like the actual source code. Kind of crazy that the leading AI model in the world's code was leaked, but all seems to be well with everything else going on at Anthropic and Claude. They did announce a few new updates this last week as usual. One is you can now do computer use within Claude. Basically, Claude can open your programs, open your apps, test things, click around your computer, kind of run it, kind of like harnessed version of OpenClaw. Anyway, cool new update from Claude on that. Speaking of OpenClaw, they also announced that they are throttling usage for OpenClaw. So you can still integrate OpenClaw with Claude. It'll just basically like cost extra tokens. So that is effective already. So I mentioned last week that a new model has been leaked. This was aside from their source code being leaked, called Mythos. And now benchmark reports came out about Mythos and is just scoring higher than everything else according to these new benchmarks. So again, nothing confirmed has been announced about Mythos, but you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. And then another thing that was found is in the source code that was leaked, there's something called Keros. And Keros seems to be approaching AGI, artificial general intelligence. Anyway, just planting the seeds here. We'll see what happens when this stuff comes out. But yeah, between the source code leak, the Mythos rumors, Keros, and whatever else, a lot's happening in the world of Claude these days. So next up is OpenAI. So they closed a record-breaking $122 billion funding round. So that's how much they just raised at a $852 billion valuation. So they're nearing the $1 trillion club, which there's only a handful of companies in the world in that $1 trillion club. And they seem to be gearing up towards an IPO as well pretty soon. They also announced that they're generating $2 billion in revenue per month, and that revenue is growing extremely fast. They also said they have 900 million weekly active users and over 50 million paying subscribers. Search usage has tripled over the last year, and their ads pilot hit $100 million in ARR in under 6 weeks, which I mentioned in the previous episode. OpenAI seems to be killing it, and yeah, they just raised a ton of money. One of the things that OpenAI did with that money is they bought TBPN, which is basically a talk show about technology that streams on the internet. They are the most popular on X, but they put their stuff on YouTube and other places as well. So yeah, OpenAI just bought TBPN, that's the name of the show, and the guys who run it. So kudos to them. Supposedly the price was in the low hundreds of millions, so not cheap. Ads on the show are going to be going away. The guys that run that show have specifically said that if their shows get over 200,000 views, that they're doing something wrong. They're going very niche, which makes sense for OpenAI to want to acquire them, because TBPN is basically like the sports center for tech culture and high net worth individuals. So for OpenAI being able to, I'm not going to say like control the discourse there, but you know, be a part of it deeper, I think that's a smart move. You decide if the price was fair or not, but it's their money. So there's this tool called VEED, just VEED, VEED Studio, and they just announced like this thing called Fabric API. But basically what it allows you to do is have the world's longest talking video model. So, you know, if you do something like in Google Veo 3, you can get as long as like 16 seconds and stuff like that. You can patch stuff together, and Bixfield is pretty sweet, which I'll get to them later actually. But you can do 5-minute long videos in VEED, which to be able to do that long of a video with one character is pretty powerful, especially with how realistic these AI avatars can look. You can do ads, you can do demos, you can do explainers, you can do whatever. It looks hyper realistic, and it's pennies a second as far as the cost goes. Anyway, powerful new model from VEED, so check it out. One fun, timely update from Perplexity. Perplexity Computer can now help you prepare your federal tax return. Obviously, taxes are due in, well, time I'll post this in about a week, and Perplexity can do it. They have like a navigate my taxes section now in Perplexity Computer, and supposedly it does it just as good as TurboTax or anything else, if not better, I would assume, because of how powerful Perplexity is. As a reminder, Perplexity can tap into all LLM models and use whatever it thinks is best for any given task. I just wanted to mention this because something that I like to see from some of these AI models, let's call it like more real world applications of it, to be able to just upload your documents and say, hey, do my taxes for me. That's pretty sweet. Kudos on this new feature launch from Complexity Computer. Public is an investing app like Robinhood and stuff, and they're mobile friendly. They appeal to, I would say, a younger generation, not the youngest generation, but let's say more Gen Z millennials is who uses Public. And they have a new AI agents feature built into Public that actually looks pretty awesome. You can basically utilize AI agents to do work for you in your investing portfolio and even set up automated strategies and trades. For example, if you want to buy the S&P 500 index every morning or every day right before it closes, right before the stock market closes, and then sell it every morning or right after it opens, that could be like a trade that an AI agent carry out for you on an ongoing basis. The thesis behind that trade is typically where a lot of the gains happen. But the sky's the limit with what you can do with these new AI agents. And similar to what I mentioned about Complexity Computer, having more like real world applications of AI, I love this new feature from Public. I use Public. This isn't a sponsor or anything. It's a cool app, and this is definitely a feature I'll be testing. So Cursor 3 was just launched by Cursor, obviously, and it's pretty powerful. Basically, Cursor 3 is more of a developer-centric, let's call it vibe coding platform, but developers might get mad at me for framing it that way. But anyway, in Cursor 3, you can use AI agents to do a lot of the stuff for you. There's also a little more of a natural language component to the Cursor 3 update, and you can do it locally, you can do it remotely. And another thing you can do with the agents is you can run it or test it locally and then basically send it up to the cloud to have it continue working there for you. Lots of cool updates from Cursor 3. If that is something that you've been wanting to take a deeper dive and look at, I would say now is definitely. Brex is a $5 billion company, and the founder of Brex, his name is Pablo, he actually just explained how he uses OpenClaw to run his entire business. So he basically has set up a variety of signals that will surface to him through his OpenClaw from email, Slack, Google Docs, WhatsApp, all that kind of stuff, from all the people and departments that he cares the most about. And then he also has a Granola, just like a note-taking software. There's lots of those. He has Granola run on every meeting, and then he feeds those transcripts into OpenClaw as well, which then auto-generate action items from each meeting or call. And then basically the system that he set up takes each to-do item, pulls the context from the original meeting, drafts up follow-ups via Slack, email, text, whatever, and then he just clicks approve. And there's more. He's fully customized this OpenClaw setup to run his company. I mentioned a previous week how Zuckerberg is doing this at Meta, and this is just massive. To me, this is the future of how businesses are going to be run. This is something that we do at my company, David AI, is we help people get their custom OpenClaw setup fully integrated into their company so they can seamlessly run it wherever they are and have all levels of relevant information be surfaced to them in an appropriate and digestible way. So it was cool to see him sort of outline what he's doing with OpenClaw. Okay, I'm going to end this with a few updates from Google. So Google came out with Gemma 4. They're calling it their most intelligent open model to date. Gemma 4 is built by the same team that did Gemini 3. And basically, you can use Gemma 4 on your own hardware locally, and it doesn't take up much room either. So it's an open model. It's an open LLM model. It is very powerful. You can do it offline. You can do it on a Mac Mini, but it's also small enough to where you can do it on a computer or a laptop or whatever. And it is integrated with Google AI Studio and some other things too. I love to see the openness that Google is pushing with Gemma 4, try to sort of get the capabilities of AI into the hands of more people. Another thing that Google announced is AI Inbox. Basically, what you can enable if you're currently a Google AI Ultra subscriber. Basically, what AI Inbox does is it cuts through all the clutter and then it surfaces at the top the most important things that you need to attend to every day. You don't need like a separate agent for this, or you wouldn't even need necessarily Claude to do this for you. AI Inbox can now do it autonomously for you if you're a Google AI Ultra subscriber. Pretty cool update from them. Last thing from Google, you can now connect your Google Analytics to LLMs like Gemini they set up an MCP, a model context protocol, to be able to do that. That's just cool because you can now fully import all the data from your Google Analytics account, from your website to anything else you're working through, whether it's Gemini, Claude, OpenAI, whatever, and run automated tests and all that kind of stuff through there. So cool new update from Google there as well. So Google with the AI Inbox, Google Analytics into LLMs, and then obviously with Gemma 4. Lots of stuff this week across the board: Claude, OpenAI, AI investing agents, new video tool, all the Google stuff. And as always, if you have any questions, would love to answer them for you. You can click on the link below and get in touch with me through my company's website, or just message me or comment or DM me on X, whatever you want. But hope this was good. Have a great week.